You aren't here because you saw a recruiting poster. You're here because you're a top 1% asset who has already spent a decade in the most violent corners of the map. Maybe you were a Navy SEAL, a Delta Force operator, or a Green Beret. You've earned the medals, you've led the teams, and you've mastered the art of overt warfare. But the agency doesn't want your medals. They want your dark talent. The tap happens quietly. It's a man in a nondescript suit sitting in the corner of a base lounge, or a secure email inviting you to a consultation in a room with no windows. They don't ask if you want to serve your country. They ask if you're tired of the red tape. They offer you a seat in the SAD/SOG, Special Activity Center/Special Operations Group. They offer you the chance to operate in the gray space, where the rules of engagement are whatever you decide they are. The first thing you do is ghosting. You resign your commission. You hand over your military ID. To the Pentagon, you are a civilian who just wanted to go home. To your family, you've taken a boring corporate security job. You have officially entered deniable status. If you are killed in a muddy trench in Eastern Europe or captured in a basement in the Middle East, the United States government will look at your photo and say, "We've never seen this man before." The psychological shift is immediate. In the military, you had a flag on your shoulder and a massive logistics chain behind you. Here you have a fake passport and a burner life. You are being appraised not just for your shooting skills, but for your mental elasticity. Can you walk into a foreign city and disappear? Can you kill a man in the morning and go for a quiet dinner in a crowded restaurant in the evening without a flicker of emotion? You are currently a blank slate. You've been stripped of your rank and your history. You are standing at the threshold of the farm, the CIA's secret training grounds. You've been a warrior your whole life, but you're about to find out that being a paramilitary officer is something entirely different. You are learning the first and most important rule of the SOG. The most effective weapon isn't the one that fires the loudest, it's the one the enemy never knew was in the room. Level 2, the student of the gray, the farm. You arrive at the farm, a sprawling, secret patch of woods in Virginia that doesn't appear on any public map. This is where your transformation from a Tier 1 soldier to a paramilitary officer begins. In the military, you were taught to break things. Here you are taught the tradecraft, the art of the invisible. The training is a grueling mix of high-speed survival and clinical deception. You spend your mornings on the grinder, learning to drive a nondescript sedan at 80 miles per hour in reverse, weaving through obstacles to escape an ambush. You spend your afternoons in a simulated foreign city, learning surveillance detection routes. You spend 6 hours walking in circles, checking reflections in shop windows and using dead drops to pass messages, all while trying to spot the professional instructors who are hunting you. You are introduced to the SOG tool belt. This isn't just about rifles. It's about dirty weapons, untraceable firearms with the serial numbers ground off, or foreign-made explosives that can't be traced back to a US factory. You learn to hotwire a vehicle in 30 seconds, to pick a high-security lock in total darkness, and to manipulate a polygraph machine by controlling your own heart rate. The psychological pressure is the identity fracture. You are given a legend, a fake life story that you must live and breathe. If you slip up once, if you mention your real hometown or your real rank, you fail. The instructors are looking for the silent operator, the person who can lie to a room full of people and make them believe it's the truth. You are being trained to be a chameleon in a tactical vest. By the end of your time at the farm, you realize that your greatest asset isn't your trigger finger, it's your situational awareness. You no longer look at a building and see architecture. You see entry points, blind spots, and escape routes. You've learned that in the gray space, a well-placed bribe or a perfectly timed accident is often more effective than a 1,000-man airstrike. You are ready to leave the woods. You are ready for your first black assignment. Level 3, the case officer. You've graduated from the woods and entered the hot zone. You are now a case officer within the Special Operations Group. You've traded your camouflage for a worn leather jacket and a local cell phone. You operate out of an unmarked safe house in a city that doesn't want you there. This is the rank where you learn that the most dangerous weapon in the CIA's arsenal isn't a missile. It's human intelligence, human. Your job is asset acquisition. You don't fight the war yourself. You find the people who will. You move through back alleys and crowded markets, looking for the discontented, the disgruntled general, the hungry scientist, or the rebel leader with a grudge. You are a professional manipulator of motives. You use the MICE framework, money, ideology, coercion, ego, to turn a foreign citizen into a traitor to their own country. The risk at level 3 is total exposure. You are operating in a foreign country under non-official cover, NOC. If the local secret police grab you, there is no rescue mission coming. You carry a suicide pill logic in your head. You are a ghost and ghosts don't have lawyers. You learn the quiet tradecraft, how to spot a tail without looking back, how to leave a brush pass in a crowded subway, and how to read the silence of a city to know when a trap is closing in. Psychologically, you are becoming a moral ghost. You spend your days lying to people who trust you. You promise protection to your assets that you know the agency might never provide. You see the world as a vulnerability map of human desires. You aren't a soldier anymore. You are a broker of secrets. You realize that in the gray space, information is the only currency that matters, and you are the one who controls the exchange rate. You live for the midnight meet. Standing in a derelict warehouse or a dark park, waiting for an asset to hand over a thumb drive that could stop a war or start one. You are the invisible bridge between the dirt of the field and the clean halls of Langley. You've mastered the art of the invisible presence, and you're starting to realize that the most successful missions are the ones that never make the news. Level 4, the ground branch operator. You have transitioned from the subtle manipulation of secrets to the violent application of force. You are now a member of Ground Branch, the point of the spear for the CIA's paramilitary wing. While the case officers handle the paperwork and the assets, you handle the direct action. You are the hammer that the agency drops when diplomacy fails and a target needs to be neutralized, a black site needs to be raided, or a high-value asset needs an emergency exfiltration. You operate as a ghost commando. You don't have a uniform, a name tape, or a unit patch. Your gear is a mix of high-end, unmarked tech and local clothing designed to blend into the environment. You might be flying an unmarked helicopter into a sovereign nation at 3 a.m., or moving through a crowded city in a beat-up SUV with a suppressed submachine gun hidden under the seat. You are the master of in-country mobility, capable of appearing and vanishing before the local military even realizes their security has been breached. The reality of Level 4 is high-stakes autonomy. Often, you are operating in teams of 2 or 3, thousands of miles from the nearest friendly base. There is no quick reaction force coming to save you. You must be your own medic, your own navigator, and your own air controller. You learn to utilize deny and disrupt tactics, sabotaging enemy infrastructure, intercepting high-level communications, or conducting kinetic interventions that look like local accidents or internal coups. Psychologically, you have entered the clinical zone. You view combat not as a patriotic struggle, but as a series of tactical problems to be solved with maximum efficiency and minimum noise. You've seen the black sites, the secret locations where the world's most dangerous players are held in total isolation. You understand that you are the janitor of the global order, cleaning up the messes that the public will never know existed. You carry a zero-trace mindset. Every casing you drop, every footprint you leave, is a potential international incident. You are a professional at the clean exit. By the time the sun rises and the local police arrive at the scene, you are already across the border, your weapons disassembled, and your identity changed. You are the shadow that the world fears but can never prove is there. Level 5, the Chief of Station. You have traded your field kit for a tailored suit and a secure office in the embassy. You are the Chief of Station, COS. In the eyes of the host country, you might just be a political attaché, but in reality, you are the shadow governor of the gray space in an entire nation. You are the highest-ranking CIA officer on the ground, and every case officer and ground branch team in the country reports directly to you. Your role is the grand balance. You spend your days in the SCIF, Sensitive Compartmented Information Facility, a room designed to be a vacuum for electronic signals, reading the book. This is the daily intelligence sweep of every secret conversation, satellite image, and asset report in your territory. You don't pull the trigger anymore. You decide when the hammer is allowed to drop. You manage the delicate diplomatic friction between Washington's demands and the local government's secrets. The burden of Level 5 is plausible deniability management. You are the one who has to look the local prime minister in the eye and lie about a kinetic event that happened in their northern province, an event you personally authorized 6 hours earlier. You manage the black budgets, moving millions of dollars through shell companies to fund local militias or bribe border officials. You are a master of geopolitical chess, sacrificing small assets to protect a decade-long infiltration of the country's high command. Psychologically, you are becoming the gatekeeper. You are no longer just an operator, you are a politician with a silencer. You live in a world of double talk and subtext. You have to decide which of your officers are getting too close to their assets and which missions are worth the risk of an international scandal that could end your career. You've learned that the most powerful thing you can do isn't to start a war, it's to keep one from starting by removing the right person at the right time. You are the invisible hand of the State Department. You sit at formal dinners, sipping expensive wine with the very people you are spying on, smiling while you mentally calculate how to dismantle their power structures. You realize that you aren't just protecting a border, you are managing a strategic ecosystem. You are the one who draws the lines in the sand that the rest of the world isn't even allowed to see. Level 6, the Program Manager. You have ascended to the 7th floor of the CIA headquarters in Langley. You are a program manager, a shadow architect, working within the Special Activities Center. You no longer worry about a single country, you manage a global portfolio of deniable operations. You are the one who designs the invisible wars, conflicts that have no front lines, no uniforms, and no official end dates. Your office is a world of compartmentalized secrets. You oversee the black budgets, billions of dollars that don't exist on any public ledger. You manage secret fleets of unmarked aircraft, private maritime vessels, and front companies that look like international logistics firms but are actually logistics hubs for ground branch teams. You aren't just a manager, you are a systems engineer for global instability. You decide which movements are funded, which regimes are pressured, and which strategic gaps need to be filled with paramilitary intervention. The weight of Level 6 is the ethics of the void. You make decisions that change the map of the world from behind a secure terminal. You authorize the targeted disruption of foreign economies and the neutralization of high-value threats. You have to be comfortable with the collateral cost of your choices. You realize that to keep the light on back home, you have to do a lot of work in the deep, cold dark. You are the person who writes the finding, the top-secret document that the president signs to give the agency the legal authority to break international law. Psychologically, you are the ghost in the machine. You have become a master of abstract violence. You don't see blood anymore, you see target folders and mission success rates. You live in a state of constant high-level simulation, always playing out the what-if scenarios. What if the coup fails? What if the asset is turned? You are the one who prepares the exclusion reports. The plan to wipe all digital and physical evidence of a failed operation before the media can find it. You are the ultimate insider. You know where the bodies are buried because you are the one who ordered the shovels. You sit in meetings with the Joint Chiefs and the National Security Council, providing the gray option, when the military says it's too risky and the diplomats say it's impossible. You are the architect of a world where the most important events are the ones that never happened, at least not according to the history books. Level 7, the Ghost Legend. You have reached the quiet exit. At Level 7, you are no longer an employee of the Central Intelligence Agency. You are a ghost legend. Your name is spoken in hushed tones in the hallways of Langley, but your face has been scrubbed from every database. You are a man who knows where the invisible borders are drawn and how many black sites are still active. You have spent decades in the gray space, and it has claimed your identity entirely. Your retirement isn't a life of golf and beach houses. It is a state of high-level vigilance. You live in a house that isn't in your name in a town where no one knows your history. You are a consultant of the void. Occasionally, a nondescript car will pull into your driveway, and a young program manager will step out to ask for your advice on a problem that has no textbook solution. You are the final authority on the unthinkable options. The burden of Level 7 is the total weight of secrets. You carry the dead files in your head, the operations that went wrong, the assets who were left behind, and the tactical lies that shaped the modern world. You see the news differently than everyone else. When a pipeline explodes in the North Sea or a government collapses in Central Africa, the public sees a tragedy. You see a surgical adjustment you designed 15 years ago. You are the architect of a reality that the world just assumes is natural. Psychologically, you are the permanent outsider. You have lived so many lives and used so many names that you sometimes forget which one was real. You have a vulnerability map of your own life, always checking the exits in every room and watching the gap in the rearview mirror. You realize that you can never truly leave the SOG. The agency doesn't let go of people who know the architecture of the deep state. You are a living archive, protected and watched in equal measure. Your journey ends with a quiet legacy. You walk through the CIA lobby one last time, passing the memorial wall with its rows of carved stars. Each star represents an officer who died in the shadows, many of whom were your friends, your students, or your assets. You know the names behind the stars that the public will never see. You realize that your life was the price paid for the security of the silence. You step out into the rain, pull your collar up, and vanish into the crowd. No medals, no parade. Just the cold, quiet knowledge that you were the ghost who kept the world spinning.